Hey guys, we are live from Mexico City with the founders, the only employees of Ashrei. It's an organization that we partner with Flatirons Church. It's also our first time to be live out of the country. So say hello. Is there anyone you want to say hi to in the States?
Yeah, we would love to say hi to our daughter, Kate, who's
Love you, Kate.
up at college at Abilene Christian. Hey, Kate.
Miss you.
We love you.
True parents. So we actually asked a bunch of people if they had questions earlier today on all of our social media. So we've got a few of those. And then I'm hoping that you can give everyone online a little bit of a taste of what you guys are all about. So to set the record straight, let's just figure this out. Is it Ashrei, Ashrei? What we got? How do you pronounce it and how'd you come up with that name?
Okay.
Go.
Well, it's Ashrei, which is kind of inconvenient because it sounds like ashtray, but it's not. It's Ashrei.
It's easy to remember when you think of it that
Yeah.
way. But it's a Hebrew word for a declaration of blessing. Like the blessed life is available to us right here, right now, right where we're at, wherever we are, and whatever we're doing. So, first word used in the Psalms, and we think what the word that Jesus used in the Sermon on the Mount to say, blessed are the poor in spirit, blessed are those who mourn, etc.
All right, Ashrei, you heard it here first. We're going to get it right the rest of the time. So, Erin and James, how long have y'all been in Mexico City, and how did you even get started here?
Yeah, so we've been here almost 20 years. Our daughter, Kate, was 5 months old when we landed, and she's 19 now. So we got started here. Both went through mission internships right out of high school.
Right out of high school, 18 years old, on mission. It was so fun.
How did you even meet each other? Did you know each other before you moved here, or what happened?
We met here in Mexico City.
Yeah, but through the same mission program. I was 2 years ahead of Erin's class that was going to go serve all over the world, and her group did a cross-cultural experience here in Mexico, and I was her group's guide for the week.
That's a little
And
scandalous.
I was in charge of like 12 or 14 people, and I think I didn't pay attention to all but one.
So we walked and talked through Mexico City and the subway and the buses and kind of loved
I liked her
each other.
immediately,
Yeah, we liked
and
each other immediately.
I saw her down the stairs wearing a green sweatshirt. She probably had been on a long bus ride and still looked beautiful to me, and I've heard French horns when I saw her.
The heavens parted.
That's right. That's right.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself. You are parents. I know that. There's also a Doberman running around here, so if the camera just falls on the floor, that's why. What else is there about you? Like, what is life like here for you guys?
Well, we also have a son, Caleb. He's 16 and he's a baseball player, so we go to a lot of baseball games and practices.
Yeah, he's proudly Mexican, born and raised here. Has learned a lot of words playing baseball in baseball leagues in Mexico City, and teaches us a few.
Yeah.
Great kid.
Tell me a little bit more about Ashrei. What is its purpose? What is your vision for that?
So Ashrei, we're a ministry and a center for spiritual formation in Latin America. Like, we want to inspire and encourage the formation of Christ-like character with people we know and love and meet, and that's what Ashrei does.
When you say, like, spiritual formation, I work at a church, so I kind of know what that means, but what, like, break that down for me. Like, what does that even entail?
Spiritual formation is the process that we do intentionally to cooperate with God in the transformation of our character so that it looks somewhat like what we see in the life of Jesus.
Yeah, so traditionally spiritual formation is divided into 3 categories, and those categories are catharsis, photosis, and theosis, or union, which are big theological words, but basically catharsis is dealing with our darkness. Those things that are anti-kingdom, don't look like Jesus. Like, we need to have a place where we can get some healing and transformation in those areas. The next part of spiritual formation is photosis, which is kind of an intentional turning to the light, turning back to God. Union, the third, or theosis, the third part, is really just the culmination of doing those first 2 things. So if you're dealing with your darkness and turning to the light and doing that kind of repetitively, consistently, eventually what it will look like is walking in step with God, walking in union with God in whatever whatever our life brings us to, or whatever our life
Yeah, I mean, which is a really great way to live. And I think what's important about that is that most of us live pretty respectable lives. Most of the people we know live pretty respectable lives, but underneath the surface can feel a little lost. I know I do. And we can feel like we're in a spiritual rut. I think the intentional process of spiritual formation with intentionality and focus on God and His active work in our life, we can get out of that spiritual rut. And our life of prayers, most people want more out of life and more from God than they get. And so I think intentionally practicing spiritual formation, we can get a lot out of life. And the good thing about God is there's more and more that He wants to give.
You guys have talked a little bit over the time that we've spent with you about cohorts and the concept of like building community here. A little bit of information. Last night was Mexico Independence Day, so we celebrated. Well, you had 21 people over for dinner, and they just kept like coming out of the woodwork. Like someone showed up with some food, someone else showed up with decorations. How do you begin to even start that here? What are some of like the programs that you have set up?
Yeah, a lot of the way we meet people is just naturally, organically, like at our kids' school, or baseball. People we meet just kind of have natural relationships being built. But we do have some programs.
Yeah, and our friendships, our friendships are true, and when we get to know each other, we want to share life with God together. And so the party, the joy, the warmth, the friendship is just kind of a part of how our community works. And you can taste that, kind of feel that last night.
There's somebody literally making dinner behind us. There's music going. We have 3 people behind the cameras over here, so it's always a lively time being here. We're actually sitting outside of the Henderson's Retreat Center. What's your vision for this center? How do you use it, and how do you hope to use it?
Yeah. I think our idea and vision in buying this place here that's big enough to host people was that we could have a retreat in the middle of Mexico City, so that people that might not be able to get out of the city, for a few days, or even for a day, could come here, even, whether it's for a few hours or for a day or a couple of days. They can have a place in the city where they can find renewal, connection with God, connection with others that are looking for the same thing, and then go back out to their lives, maybe, with a fresh breath of fresh air, or changed a little bit, and have some more hope and strength. Yeah.
I think when people walk through our doors, we want to receive them as if we were receiving Christ Himself. And when people feel that people know if you love them and if you like them and you want to be with them. And I think that we invite people into our life and listen. And when people feel listened to, there's some sort of renewal or that comes from that. And so that's what we do. We listen.
Yeah. We have one of our spiritual practices and disciplines is celebration. So I think as much as we do the hard work of dealing with our darkness and going to hard places and stuff, we also really celebrate friendship with God and with each other and the victories. And so we do a lot of celebration here in our patio also.
Which is the most underrated spiritual discipline there is, and maybe the most underpracticed.
Big fan.
So, and Jesus, if we just look at His life a little bit, you can tell that He loves being with people, eating good food, celebrating life, thanking God for it. It's just a great part of His rhythm, the way He rested and renewed and celebrated with friends, and then the way that He feels ready to go back to work where people need Him the most.
We're going to change gears a little bit. Some of those questions that people submitted online, they have a wide range, okay? So I'm going to pull up the very first one that got submitted. We have to know, since y'all are the experts. This one came in on Instagram. What is your favorite taco and why?
Okay, well, I love the taco al pastor. It's just iconic Mexico City taco, and I love the mix of sweet and savory Just
They have cilantro in that and put pineapple on top.
They're delicious.
My favorite is the campechano, which is a beefsteak with longaniza, which is like a chorizo, and they put onion and tomato and avocado on it with a little bit of red sauce. It's so good.
And where should we go get tacos? Well, if someone's in Mexico City, what's the number one place they have to hit?
I think Super Taco.
take you to Super Taco.
It's our place.
You heard it first. Super Taco. We will post online a recap of us going there later this week. The next one came in from Facebook. What do you miss most about the States?
I have to say our families. We
Absolutely.
miss being around family more consistently, and I miss Texas barbecue.
Yeah, family for sure. You know, sometimes Flatirons friends will come down to do work projects and things like that, and to interact with American friends, like talking sports and things that, you know, it's fun. I miss that.
All right, one final question. I may have heard from someone, James, that you were once arrested and spent the night in jail here in Mexico. So tell us that story. How did you end up, you know, a missionary in jail with a record?
Well, it's consistent to missionary life. In the Bible, you find all kinds of biblical narratives of missionaries in prison. But something with a car, not all the paperwork was right. I didn't want to pay a bribe. My Texas stubbornness came online, and I wasn't going to budge. And I guess by 2 o'clock in the morning, they held me overnight, took my belt and shoelaces and passport, and gave them to Erin.
Yeah, and you have some pretty fun stories from that night also.
Yeah, I mean,
This is a PG rated.
yeah, I mean, it's a,
Q&A.
yeah. No, it's tiny cell, cold floor, a nice jailer. The jailer gave me some water and a windbreaker and a cardboard box flattened out to lay down on the ground. And practicing spiritual formation, this is, I mean, when we practice things, they show up strength shows up when we'd least expect it, right? So I'm reeling. I'm not going, I'm in a jail. I'm going to spend the night. There are men in here, I don't know what's going to happen in the morning. And whenever the jailer gave me a cardboard box and I flattened it out, I'd been doing a practice of praying Psalm 23 as much as I could during the day. We were sharing the practice in community, anything. Anyway, what I'm saying is, I was praying Psalm 23 at the time as much as I could. Well, when I laid down on the cardboard box, the prayer that hit me, do you know what it was? You make me lie down in green pastures. And I fell asleep.
Guys, this is real. Like, James has a story like this for every single moment of the day. So I would be the one, like, bartering with God, like, if you get me out of here. So maybe I need to spend some more time here. We're pretty much done, guys. If you want to know more information around James, Erin, Ashrei, and what they're doing here, we have gathered so many stories this week. Those will be coming out throughout the year. But you can find out more information right now at flatirons.com/outreach. Guys, is there anything else you want to say specifically to Flatirons?
Oh my gosh. I love Flatirons.
We love you, Flatirons.
I love Flatirons people. I love Flatirons approach to life. I love that the world needs churches like Flatirons. So thanks for being you, and thanks for letting us be us. And we couldn't do what we do without you.
Yeah, thank you for loving and supporting us.
Thanks so much. We're going to go eat, maybe some tacos. I have no idea what we're making tonight. But we got to end this live stream or else we're going to get some hanger. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.